Hello and welcome everyone. Today we're going to explore the theme Society, Performance and Me, inspired by a workshop that we recently participated in.
We are joined by our guest, Dr. Shabari Rao, an artist, educator, and researcher with over 2 decades of experience. Her work spans performance, pedagogy, and embodiment, with presentations at international conferences and residencies in Shanghai, New York, Vienna, Cape Town, and Melbourne. At BITS Law School, she brings this interdisciplinary expertise into teaching.
We'll be asking Dr. Rao about her work, our experiences from the workshop, and what it means to perform who we are. Dr. Rao, when you say we perform who we are, what does that mean in everyday life?
Well, I think from the way you dress to the way you speak to the way you carry yourself, all communicates something about you. When somebody looks at you, immediately they're reading signals about who you are. And we do stuff to display certain aspects of who we want to present ourselves to be. For example, you guys might want to present yourselves as studious students, or you might want to present yourselves as future lawyers. So that will shape how you speak, how you carry yourself, how you dress, etc. For me, I might want to present myself as an artist, or I might want to present myself as a rebel, and that's why I have short hair. So this is everyday performance.
That really connected with me. All of us have different versions of ourselves, and each version is real and it represents something of our life, and each version means something to us. And I really feel like we learn a lot about ourselves through these different versions of ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. So I feel like there's definitely no one single true version of who you are or who I am. I think we all adapt to different situations and also have a sense of how we want to be perceived in different situations.
One exercise that stayed with me was the self-portrait through movement. What was your intention behind this activity?
So I think the main intention was to kind of bypass these labels that we often use to identify with, whether it's female or whether it's student or whether it's artist or whatever it is. And I think what I wanted for you guys to experience was a lived experience of identity. How does identity feel within the body, and how can you express that?
For me, it did feel awkward at first, but then I felt that it was surprisingly freeing. I could express things from using my body, which I couldn't through my words, and that was really enlightening.
Yeah, sometimes I think movement helps us access different layers of meaning and different layers of experience, and I think that's why it's so powerful.
Many of us also realize that our identity is shaped by the expectations that surround us. How does performance help us question these roles that we have curated around gender, power, etc.?
I think the first thing is to become aware that our identities are socially shaped. Sometimes we just think, oh, that's how I am, that's who I am. And we don't realize that there are influences on us, whether it's our parents, whether it's our peer group, social media, etc., that are kind of shaping who we are. So the first thing I think is to just realize that we are shaped by society. And I think when you do realize that, that gives you some space in which to make active choices. And secondly, once you have some vocabulary of performance tools, then you're able to actually shape how you perform. I don't mean this in a manipulative way, but in a way that is context sensitive.
That makes a lot of sense. We mold ourselves and we shape ourselves according to the surroundings that we are in. Especially in today's times, social media plays a huge role, and we largely shape ourselves according to the type of person we want to put out on social media. So
Yeah,
what do you have to say about that?
I think social media in some ways flattens our sense of identity because we present a very curated, sometimes very one-dimensional portrait of ourselves. And I think that's very different from the lived, embodied experience of who we are.
My takeaway is that identity does not have to be fixed. It can be playful and it can be flexible. We as an individual have the power to mold ourselves into whatever we want to become and whatever we have to become. And it is not constant. We can change our identities as according to whenever we want to and however we want to. So I really loved and enjoyed the workshop. It was a great learning I took away.
I learned that movement and creative play can be just as expressive as words, and sometimes even more so.
True. And I think one of the things that I wanted to highlight for you all is this continuum between art and life, and how both are versions of each other. So when we say performance, we're just highlighting something that might exist already in our everyday life.
Thank you, Dr. Rao, for this enlightening conversation and for leading us through the workshop.
And thank you to everyone listening. Hope you carry forward the idea that performance is a part of everyday life.